Hello, my tarot friends. It's Justin Michael. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome, of course, if this is your first time stopping by. I appreciate you as well. This is going to be a walkthrough of a deck called the Tarot de Rivesaltes. It's actually going to be a comparison, and I'm going to compare it to the Pierre Payen and sort of introduce both decks to you. This is a video I've been wanting to make for a while, and I'm actually going to create a series out of it. So these are going to be the first two decks I do in a series of decks that I have from Yves Reynaud. So Yves Reynaud is a French card maker from the region of Marseille, and he specializes in restoring historic decks. He does, like, they're almost facsimiles, but he does some improvements to restore them to their original look, you know, and it's all very historically accurate, and he puts a lot of emphasis on you know, being true to the artist, you know what I mean? So these are the first two decks, and this is a deck I'm really excited about. It's by an artist. He's a folk artist by the name of Ben Gross, and he lives in the Rivesaltes, France. He's from England, actually, and I actually ordered one of his Majors Only decks. So he's done some Majors Only. He does a lot of artwork with tarot. The Majors Only I purchased was only, there were only 10 created, 10 copies. They're numbered and signed, and I was lucky enough to get one. So Yves decided to print one of his decks, and I will read his bio briefly. But this is one of 600 decks, which was printed by Yves Reynaud. And so this is 403 of 600. So if this is a deck that you like, I wouldn't wait too long. I would get it. And then this here is a historic, you know, recreation of the tarot of Pierre Payen. The reason I chose both of these is because Payen was the influence of Ben Gross. It was the inspiration. These are Type 1 Tarot de Marseilles. I'm not going to get too into the details of that, but if you want to learn more about Type 1 and Type 2, I'm going to refer you to my friend Mascha. I'm going to put a link below. She has a wonderful video on Type 1 and Type 2 Tarot de Marseille. I'm just going to kind of show you this deck and do sort of a comparison. This is different than anything I have from Yves because it's sort of a special edition. You know, mostly Yves does historic decks, but this is a modern deck by a modern artist. And so it's in a different kind of box, magnetic closure, and has like a felt inner jacket and so forth. And this is number 403 of 600, as I said. And I'm just going to read this for you. So Ben Gross is a London-born painter and musician living in Rivesaltes in the Roussillon region of southern France. After having produced 3 different series of the 22 major arcana, he found inspiration in the character and expressions of the historic tarot created by Pierre Payen in Avignon in 1713, and began work on his full deck of 78 cards. For the artist, painting the tarot is not only a way of reviving the luminosity of its colors, but moreover a way of studying, meditating upon, and assimilating the forms and symbols inherent in the imagery. The artist hopes that this work may offer a bridge between past and present, the present and the future, whilst respecting the tradition of the tarot. The original paintings were made between 2016 and 19 using vibrant ceramic paint and porcelain outliner of 78 canvas boards. Original size were 22 by 33 centimeters. And just to show you this, so the front of the box has that like porcelain look too. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really, really beautiful and just a work of art. I just really, really love this. So I am going to show you these two decks, and I'm going to have a series, as I mentioned, and I will hopefully get through my entire collection. And I will keep you posted on that. So this is the Pierre Payen, 1713, and just has a brief history of him. But I already mentioned that he was a card maker from the Avignon region, and this is one of the oldest of the Type 1 Tarot de Marseilles. So, which is pretty interesting, you know what I mean? So just to show you the Ben Gross cardstock, these two cardstocks are the same. It's a really durable, flexible cardstock. It's typical of, you know, Yves Reynaud. but and these beautiful backs. The pips are, it has a border, as you can see, and the pips all have colored borders, and they increase with the intensity of the suit. In other words, they get darker as the suit progresses, and that's really cool elementally, you know. And I really love the cups, the blue. It's really beautiful, and they're not all the same, you know. They're all different because they're all paintings. So I just wanted to point that out to you. So as you can see, you know, it's clearly, you know, even the facial expressions are very similar. And it's clear to me that, you know, this is the inspiration. And he says it, so. But Type 1 Tarot de Marseille is, there's 10 things that, 10 distinctions from Type 2 that people point out. And Type 2 is the most common that you have. You know, it's the Pierre Payen, the Chosen, and for instance, the Convert. And modern decks such as Jodorowsky, CBD, you know, most of the modern Tarot de Marseilles are derived from the Type 2. So one of the distinctions of Type 2 Tarot de Marseille is, or Type 1 rather, is the number 4 in the Emperor. And you see that here. But if, for instance, in the Convert, you don't have that. Similarly, in the Hierophant, you know, he doesn't have the triple cross on his staff. He has a bulb with this sort of object folded over on top. So you'll see that in Type 1s. And then, again, with the angel, the Cupid, he's blindfolded and flying from the right. So that is another classic Type 1 distinction. Now, in card 7 here, with the Chariot, usually in Type 1, you will have the blank shield here on the Chariot. But in this one, you know, he has an arrow, so he's painted that in. But otherwise, you know, it's pretty loyal to Payen. I really love the color palette that he chose, and, you know, the borders are just beautiful. It's different than anything I have. And I'm just really happy to have it in my collection. You can see he's even kept some of the imperfections in the woodblock from the Payen. It's not exactly the same, but, you know. And then again, another distinction would be in the Hangman here, you have his, you know, his tongue is sticking out, and you have his fingers kind of poking out of his shoulders. That's classic Type 1. This is probably like the silliest of the Hangman. And you'll see also there are different Hangmen in like some of the Swiss decks, like the Gasman. You'll see something different than what's in Type 2. So all decks are different. Not all decks that are Type 1 have every single one of those, but those are just, it's sort of like a, you know, you check the boxes sort of thing, you know what I mean? Like Noble, I know, only has 7 of the 10, and it's technically a Type 1. So I really love the blues in this. It's like a bluish green. Such a beautiful deck. And then this is probably the most well-known distinction, is the face in the devil's belly. And that's a Type 1 thing. So I'm just going to go through these pretty quick, you know. I just want to show this because I just got this tonight, and I'm really thrilled with it. Look at that moon card, the blues. So there's another distinction in Type 1. You know, the moon is facing forward as opposed to the side in Type 2. Beautiful Sun card. It's a really blue deck. It has a lot of blues in it, and I'm just really, really feeling that. And then I think that's another one with the leaves and the sword in the sheath on the side there. And I don't know if I named all 10, but this is Les Fous, which it's usually FOU. Like I believe in Dodal, it's FOV, which is, you know, V is U. And in the type 2, it's Les Mat for full. And here we have the Pentacles. Love the borders. And like I said, they're all different. They're not all the same, which is great. So it's not even really a border. I mean, it's a border, but it's part of the painting. You know what I mean? And I just think it's so well done, and how the color intensifies as the suit and the element intensify. Really a lot of thought went into these pips. And look how dark the red is. The core cards are really beautiful too. I mean, I just really, really am in love with this deck. I can't tell you how much I like it. The borders match so well with the colors inside. I mean, it just was so well done. And I think this is probably the last one I'll point out to you. It's Chevalier instead of Cavalier in type 2. What a beautiful image. So it's CH instead of Cavalier, you know what I mean? It's Chevalier. And here we have the cups. Two beautiful decks. The Payen is not really one I spend too much time with. I really, I'm going to show you, but I really like the, I can't think of the name of it. It's right here. The Rokius. I've spent a lot of time with that deck. I just couldn't remember the name for some reason. And I really love the colors in that deck, but I'm starting to really appreciate this now. And this is an instant favorite for me, this Ben Gross deck. I'm so glad I got one of his majors onlys. And I even contemplated buying a piece of art from him because, you know, there are originals on his website for, you know, 150 pounds. You know what I mean? You can own a piece of original artwork. And I feel like he's going to sort of gain notoriety from this deck probably. And, you know, might be hard to get his art in the future. You know what I mean? He's up and coming. But I would buy it mostly because I'd want to hang it on my wall. I mean, and for the price, it's very reasonable. But the fact that he's, you know, done this deck and he's sort of gaining, I mean, just the fact that I went on there earlier tonight and saw, you know, they were all sold out, his majors only. He only printed 10 of each, and I feel very lucky to have got one. but they're all gone now. And I suspect it's because this deck was released and people got it and liked it and checked them out. But there is some artwork left, so. Love that border. I'm just going to go a little faster here. I also like the baton suit. The shade of green that they use for the border is just really great, and how it changes as the suit progresses. Love these. Look at that. Look at that border. These core cards are amazing. Okay, so that is the Ben Gross deck and the Pierre Payen. Hope you found that useful. And again, I'll leave Yves Reynaud's store down below, but I'll also leave Ben Gross's website. And I'm going to leave a link to my friend Mascha's video where she breaks down the type 1 and type 2. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it was useful. And expect a few more videos from me from my Yves collection throughout the week. I'm probably going to be pumping out quite a few videos, so because I do have to catch up with Marseille decks. So hopefully it's not too annoying to my RWS friends. You know, I won't forget about you, but I have a lot of Marseille decks I need to show, so I'll try and mix it up, but this is going to be part of my Yves Reynaud series. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you have a great day or night or wherever you're at in the world. Thanks. Bye-bye.